why are you personally driven to do this?
I grew up with the idea that space was important, and there was a great, I'm going to say a great book, and you're going to laugh at me, and that's fine. But when I was 2 or 3 years old, Dr. Seuss books were all the rage with 2 to 3 year olds, maybe in your generation too. But there was this one book that I read, and it went along with the fact that my dad worked for NASA at the time too, at Stennis in Waverly. But the book's title was "You Will Go to the Moon," and I took that literally. I thought I was going to go to the moon, and I'm sad we're not there yet. I think we could have been there if we had been dedicated to doing that. If we had a dedicated reason to do that, if it hadn't been simply a race between the U.S. and the Soviet Union, I think we would be there by now. And you will go to the moon. That was the message of that book. You will live and work in space. And as I said earlier in a panel session this morning, someone asked, would space travel become mundane? And I hope that it does, because it's not the travel that's important. You don't get on an airplane just for the trip. You get on the airplane to go someplace and do something. And we should be putting our systems in space, not for the travel experience, but for what they can accomplish when they get there. And we should have the same goals for ourselves.
And you have children, right?
I have one.
Okay. Imagine when your daughter is... Son?
My son.
Sorry. I thought you said daughter last time. Okay, imagine when your son is your age, okay? What do you hope space exploration will be like then? And maybe putting the Google Lunar X Prize in perspective, how might this competition and accomplishment have catalyzed a new era of exploration?
Well, I hope that by that time, I hope that space travel is something everybody can do. It's as easy or easier than going to a website and booking a ticket. I hope we have a permanent settlement in space and on the surface of the moon. I'm working on a project that's bringing that to reality. Not just my team here, but I'm also working with some other individuals and organizations that are working on building a robotic lunar village that will turn into a human settlement. And I would hope that there's already an established human presence on the moon. There's a lunar university. There's lunar research happening every day. There are people traveling to and from Earth orbit, lunar orbit, and beyond lunar surface by the time he's my age.
And so since this is an open source endeavor, I want to ask you a little bit about the community that you're working within. And what's the shared feeling and vision behind this that's driving all you and your friends?
Collaboration is important. Open collaboration is what allows us to accomplish amazing things. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, and we are using the things that are already known, and we're combining our talents and our knowledge to build better systems. And then over the long run, it is by cooperation that we build better systems.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to add I haven't covered? You talked about you said some really good things about entrepreneurship. You and the guy from Part-Time Scientist had a little exchange, and you said we need to be the entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we are the entrepreneurs. We are the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurship isn't about having an idea and telling the public they need it. It's about creating the things the public wants and showing them why they need it. And so our discussion was whether we are driving what they need or we are finding what they need.
Okay, so what is it that the public wants or doesn't know they want? What do we aspire toward on the moon? And something that these missions can make available?
We aspire to a self-sustaining lunar settlement. We aspire to extending the reach of our society, of our way of life, and moving it off of one planetary body and onto multiple planetary bodies. We need a backup. In software, we back up our systems. We make backups of software and data files. Humanity exists on one planet. If there's an asteroid impact here, if there's a world-changing event, if we run out of resources here, our way of life can come to an end. If our way of life has been established on the moon, on Mars, and elsewhere, then we continue. We continue to exist as a civilization and a society and a way of life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. That's really great.
You're welcome.
I'm inspired. I really am.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.